Hi there, I'm Maithily and I'm super excited to take you on a gourmet journey across the world. We are going to travel many places and explore fantastic food through easy and simple recipes from my collection. So before we begin our journey, let me introduce you to myself and tell you a little bit about myself. I'm a practicing architect, but I absolutely love baking and cooking, and it's always been a passion and a love of mine. And I took it one notch higher when I was residing in New York. And when I came back, I started this little enterprise of mine called Little Chefs, which is a culinary education for kids, wherein the kids are doing world cuisine right from scratch. So it's a wonderful journey for them and they absolutely love it. So today I'm going to do a classic American recipe, the very classic chocolate chip cookies. So it's very simple, very tasty, perfect for all age groups, absolutely. And you can have it for birthday parties, you can have it for baby showers, especially on those special Christmas mornings where you can dunk them in really yummy hot chocolate. And this is a great recipe for those working ladies out there who are working really hard and want to come home to something comforting and really yummy, which will take you to a whole new world of bliss. So let's not waste any more time and let's start making these really classic chocolate chip cookies which never go out of fashion. So let me introduce you to the ingredients today. We are going to be needing half a teaspoon of baking soda, 1 egg, 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract or vanilla essence, half a teaspoon of baking powder, 1/3 cup of castor sugar, 3/4 cup of mini chocolate chips, half a cup of brown sugar, half a cup of really softened butter, it can be regular butter, and 1.5 cups of all-purpose flour. So let's start by mixing the butter. So make sure that the butter is at room temperature so that when you whisk the sugars in that, it really fluffs up and creams up beautifully. So that's half a cup of butter, and in goes both the sugars, 1/3 cup of castor and half a cup of brown sugar. Now the brown sugar really gives it that really nice malt flavor to these cookies. So I'm going to take my wooden spoon and just fluff this cream and sugar and butter together. So you can use your whisk here. I just find the wooden spoon helps better to get everything together. Now just keep on mixing till you get a nice fluffy mixture. Just beat it nicely. Now usually my stand-up mixer does all the work for me, but I enjoy doing this once in a while. There we go. You just go in rotating so that you get the creamy mixture ready. Once this is done, I'm going to crack in 1 egg inside. Now generally as a principle, I always crack it in a bowl just to make sure that the egg is clean and not bad. So I'm just going to crack it in this bowl just to make sure it's good. Excellent. And I'm just going to drop the egg in the butter and the sugar mixture and also the vanilla. In it goes, and give it a good beating again to just combine everything together and mix it really well. Now typically you could use a hand mixer, but I think overbeating also doesn't work sometimes. So just get this together. It's a really classic go-to recipe. It's not the traditional hard cookie. This is the more chewy kinds, which I absolutely love. There we go. Can you see how this mixture is creaming now? It's really going to fluff up. Okay, once this is done, we are going to add the dry ingredients to this. Okay, now let me give you a really good tip here. Now I'm going to add just 1 tablespoon of flour to the chocolate chips. Why is that? because when you mix these chocolate chips into the cookie dough, they are not going to settle down at the bottom of the cookies, but they're going to float within. So when you take that perfect bite, you're going to get some chocolate chips as well. So that is the reason why we add the flour to the chocolate chips, so that they coat them nicely and they float in the cookie dough. So I'm going to add 1.5 cups of flour. We are just going to sieve these together so that all the dry ingredients mix really well before they hit the wet batter. Okay. Now I'm going to add half a teaspoon of baking soda here, which will help them rise, and half a teaspoon of baking powder. Perfect. Give it a quick shake. And there you go. It's that simple. It's very, very simple recipe, very easy to make and very quick. Just get it all together. Perfect. Just going to use my wooden spoon again and just get it all together. And we don't want to overbeat it. We are just getting all the ingredients together and mixing it to make a nice cookie dough. Now at this stage, you can just slightly mix your chocolate chips and the flour so that they get evenly coated. So like I said before, they are going to float in the cookies and not settle at the bottom once they are baked. Okay, perfect. Just going to add these chocolate chips also to the cookie dough and just combine everything till we get a nice, really yummy cookie dough. So this will take a little while, but it comes together really well. While we are doing this, the great way to get this batter together or this cookie dough together is to make a little incision in the center and just fold it. So this is called the cut and fold method, and it really gets a good, nice dough. At this stage, pretty much I tell my kids that please go and put your hands together and just have fun making the dough. So I always tell them that. So just get all the ingredients together so that it becomes a nice cohesive dough. Now the great thing about this dough is that you can freeze it for over 3 months, and whenever you want it, just take it out of the refrigerator and let it come to room temperature, and then you can make your cookies absolutely fresh. So it's a very, very versatile dough. So just get this together. Perfect. Okay, while we are mixing this dough, I want you to preheat your oven to about 200 degrees centigrade. So once we lay these cookies on the baking sheet, they're ready to go in the oven. Okay, so now our dough is ready. So here's another handy tip that I'm going to give you. I use my very, very good ice cream scoopers. The reason why I use this is because I get cookies of the same size and they're round and nice. So you have evenly baked cookies, which is just great, right? So I'm just going to take my ice cream scoop, and here I have a baking sheet which is pre-lined with some parchment paper. So I'm just going to drop these cookies onto the baking sheet like these. So you can decide on the size you want. I mean, I like big cookies, so I always make big cookies, but you can decide the size you want. So I'm just placing them about 2 inches apart, because once they go inside the oven, they are going to spread and puff up. So we have to give them enough room to grow big. Perfect. With the ice cream scoop, it really gets very easy to, put them on the baking sheet. Perfect. So now we are going to pop these babies into the oven at 200 degrees centigrade and just let them bake for about 8 to 10 minutes. Just make sure that you see the edges. When they start browning a bit, that's when you know the cookies are done. You don't want to overbake them. You don't want to dry them out, because these essentially are the chewy ones and not the really crispy ones. So let's pop them in the oven and see you in 8 minutes. So now my cookies are done and I'm so excited to show them to you. I just wanted to show you the little browning on the edges. That's what you want. You don't want to over bake them because these are the really chewy kinds and not the crispy ones. So I hope you enjoyed watching me on this show making these cookies for you, and I hope you make them for your little ones and your loved ones at home. They're very simple to make and I'm sure they will be devoured in no time. So keep watching me for some more of this world cuisine on India Food Network. Thank you and take care.